Nigerian Customs Service has reportedly embarked on raids of warehouses suspected to be holding rice brought into Nigeria despite the border closure. This move questions, on the one hand, the agency's ability to secure the country's borders and at the same time the extent of Nigeria's self-sufficiency in rice production. Even though Nigeria's land borders were shut for 16 months from August 2019 to December 2020, foreign rice, quote-unquote, still somehow filled up warehouses in some popular rice markets across the country, especially in the commercial capital of Lagos. Joining us to discuss these stories further is Arise business analyst Chika Nbono. Chika, very welcome.
How are you today?
Fine, sir. Thanks so much for joining us. What do you make of the latest inflation number? Yes.
I mean, to the housekeepers and homekeepers who go to the market daily to buy things, to the employees or staff who take daily transport from, outside the city to come into the city for their work. Even to the people who eat at the, roadside restaurants. I've seen suddenly that for the same price, the quantity of food is falling. We don't need the MBS to let them know that, about the fact that inflation has been increasing in Nigeria.
Right.
So it's not surprising. And then the peculiar thing about inflation in Nigeria is been driven by the runaway food inflation substantially, and that has been the problem. So you find the headline that came in at 16.47%, as you already spoke during your rundown, from 15.75 in December, and food inflation, has crossed that 20%, benchmark, 20% benchmark,
yes.
That 20.57, and where do we end in that? And from 19.5 is, of course, the core inflation at 11.85. So if you find our inflation is driven, is principally by the food inflation.
Yes.
But if you stretch it further, you will get to know that nothing surprises you.
Yes.
Nothing should surprise you. Now, the first thing is we are a very import-dependent country. And a lot of times our inflation is import-led, is import-driven, So you look at exchange rate. I was doing some work early this morning. I found that generally 2019, 2020, maybe February, was about less than 360 officially. Now, what is the rate today? Officially, it crossed the 400 naira barrier.
Yes.
And now, as I always say in this program, I say, despite these official rates, I know that outside there, the prices are marked up to the market rates, really, or the parallel rates. So the parallel rate today is at 473, 475. So you can imagine the depreciation in the foreign currency, being an import-dependent country, for an import-dependent country where literally everything that we use here is imported,
yes.
And whether the raw materials or finished products. So you can imagine the impact on inflation also. And so that's the major driver for inflation. Now, you look at other things that happen in the economy. Look at the increase in price of fuel, it used to be that you go to a filling station, fill it up, it will go and up. But now it's getting lesser and lesser, the number of liters you can get. And we hear again that there are some things on the horizon about,
yes.
hanging increase in prices. Look at electricity. Before, if you buy a particular number of units, it displays the number of units, about 500 units. Now, the same quantity that you used to get in the past, number of units getting in the past, is less by almost 20%.
Right.
And that has, your consumption is something, but the cost has increased. Now, of course, the overhanging effect of also the VAT increase. So all this have impacted the cost of inflation in Nigeria. Now, but look at food inflation. A lot of the food belts, the things that have been happening. A lot of the food belts.
Yes.
A lot of the food belts are the center or the epicenter of the bandit activities.
Correct. Yes.
You know that. Also, in the last month, what's happening around the whole country. It's just like an epidemic now of crisis in the whole country.
Yes.
And so a lot of the food belts, farmers cannot go in and plant and plant. We thought the harvest period that comes in usually November, December will moderate the inflation, but it didn't happen because of this issue of the fact that the harvest didn't come in as we expected because of the security issues, challenges we have faced.
Yes.
Look at the issue of logistics. Let's look at logistics, supply chain challenges.
Yes.
Look at the ports. We did something in this program that showed that the cost of bringing goods from China to Lagos is less than the cost of clearing the goods from China into the city, to the factories.
Right.
And that has continued. And that has also impacted the inflation. And then look at the roads also. Even if you succeed in harvesting, to move the product down to the hinterland, the market areas, you find a lot of you get a lot of products on the road. So the basket of all these issues, no, you don't require an analyst to tell you the figures are genuine, and that's what's happening in our country.
Thank you very much, Chika. Structural analysis of the issues Nigeria is facing that's pushing those figures up. I want to get your thoughts on the NIBS report on fraud. 534% increase last year, to most of them on the web taking place.
Not surprising. Again, do you know that even before COVID came in, there have been gravitation of transactions from the over-the-counters or inside the banking halls to the online channels. With the CBN pushing financial inclusion also, that has also helped to move transactions either to the mobile platforms or the web channels. And then COVID came in, and all of us were quarantined at home. So all the transactions we could do were online.
Yes.
Therefore, the quantum of fraud, not surprisingly, therefore, will gravitate towards the web channels and the mobile channels. And so what we do have in that report is the fraud quantities amount divided by over the volume of transactions. It's not surprising that is happened. But, what we said that when the children of God gather, the children of the devil also join them. So as the transactions increase, people also becoming faster. So you will find, as the report said, there are 3 levels of fraud. Those committed internally by staff of the banks, those committed by external people, and those that had to do collusion between the external people and the staff of the bank. And the staff of the bank are in this good position to know the internal dynamics of the bank, especially the IT platforms and the passwords and so on and so forth. So where you don't have due diligence and very good corporate governance, you find staff who help themselves to customers' balances, and that one is even worse. Now you have external people who have been very busy, either through phishing or identity theft. I've been a victim of one of them sometime. Where somebody took my identity and
sorry about that.
And that lots of money, but the bank refunded it. So you'll find that is happening more. But the issue, therefore, are 2 ways. For the individuals, we need to be very careful what we do with our account balances, our account details. And the other thing also is the institutions need to raise the barriers, need to raise the barriers and the security levels of all their transactions to make sure that you don't have hackers who come in and access customers' data and information to enable them access customers' accounts and balances.
Fantastic stuff. Arise business analyst Chika Mbono. Chika, thank you so much for taking us through those inflation figures.